again, back with another powerful show, connecting with so many people that's doing some amazing things in the community. Listen, I'm excited about this show. It's my last show of the night. We've been interviewing authors from all over the world. Herpreneuer is doing a virtual book tour for women who have decided to either write their book or the book is coming out soon. And we wanted to connect with these women so they can tell their story on why they decided to write their book. And so I have another guest coming from the ATL, Miss Mia Wallace. Thank you for joining the show.
Thanks.
I love your hair.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So tell the people who you are. And of course, I already told where you're from and the name of your book.
Okay, yes. My name is Mia Wallace, and the name of my book is A Child Left Behind by Suicide from Darkness to God's Light.
Why did you name the book that?
Because I am a child left behind by suicide, and God revealed his light for my darkness. So he actually took me out of darkness into his light.
You say you was a child that survived suicide? What does that mean?
So I lost my mom to suicide at the age of 4. So part of my journey was suppressing that within, and I was denying my true self. So I just denied that part of my story. So like if I met you on this, like later on in life, before I was with God, I would have been like, yeah, I have my stepmother. I would call her my mom. It was just like my birth mom was not existent.
So did you resent her a lot for leaving you?
I did, not in the beginning, because I literally blocked it out. So when I started to go through this healing process with God, God told me, you can't take this journey with me unless you bring your inner child. Now, he said, the child, hold on, let me get the words right. I'm sorry. But he said, the little girl from your childhood must go on this journey with you. So meaning I could not follow him completely and be my true self without becoming whole with the past.
Oh my God.
So that was part of my healing process. So as I was going through that healing process, forgiveness was one of the things. And that's when I realized that I did resent her. Right. I did resent the action, like you left me, which also planted those seeds of abandonment within
me. My God. When did the book come out?
The book came out in August 2019. And it really went on, I really started going about it, but then COVID hit. So it shut everything, like the tours and everything down. So I can only do as much as I could. So
this is a good opportunity for you to come speak about it because, man, that is so detrimental, man. Like, golly. And then you end up, so what woke you up one morning and say, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to face this. What was the breaking point of you deciding to face it?
Really, like I said, when he told me to, when the Holy Spirit revealed that I needed to go back and get the childhood from my, go get the little girl from my childhood, I started to take this journey myself, not realizing that God had already ordered the steps for me to get that little girl back in that process. And that's what kind of breaks down in the book. So you'll go along with me as I try to figure out things myself when God was like, no, that's not what I want. And what he wanted me to do was journal out what I was going through, the process that he took me out, not knowing that it was going to birth a book, because I felt like I was honestly being punished, that I chose to be, follow God, turn my life to him. And now you're making me face something that I didn't want to face.
Oh God. So what would you say to like an author that wanting to write their book, they're afraid? What kind of advice would you give an author who's, just learning how to let go and just step out into the deep? What advice would you give them?
I would say just document and do the journaling yourself. Like don't even start with like a book format. Just start writing down all the ideas, the thoughts, your emotions, what you're going through, what this book is meant to do. And then the pieces will come together. Like if you're really like I wrote this book with the Holy Spirit. It wasn't me. So the Holy Spirit put all my pieces together and birthed this book. because it's not just my journey, it also sheds light to suicide altogether. So it's giving light to those who also that's battling with suicide now, the others that lost um, a loved ones to suicide, and also can give advice to people who want to help.
That is so deep.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are you doing now? Are you doing any workshops with the book? Like, what's next for you?
Next for me is I'm going to a Christian lovers book retreat. That's next month. That's next on the list. I do have a couple of more events here in Atlanta this month because it is Suicide Awareness Month. So I'm, really going out. And so, that's some of the major things that's happening this month.
Wow. So your father is in your life now. I mean, that's who helped raise you when it happened. Like,
unfortunately, my father passed away. But as my child, in part, growing up, yes, he was a part of my life. It was some other issues where he wasn't there for a little while. He was locked up, but he did come home, and even in that process, he was still an active father. I would just say it was still resentment.
okay.
Because as a child, no one spoke to me. No one explained to me what happened.
Right.
So it's like we just all.
So how did you find out what really happened with her?
I think I overheard people talking. Like as a child, you hear things, but then you don't really know. Like when I heard suicide, I didn't know what that meant at first. And then, but I would hear like something bad happen. And then you had people who felt sorry for you, but then they also wouldn't speak. So it was just, that was part of the journey. And then as I got older and older, when I learned myself what suicide was, then it was a shame. Like now it's shameful to even mention this.
My God.
So it didn't just affect me, but it also affect the family members. Now that I'm in a community around lost survivors and I see what they go through, I get a better understanding, like what my grandmother went through and why she didn't speak to me. Like it just, God brought it all together where I could have a better understanding.
So what church do you go to now in Atlanta?
Now I go to New Beginning, Full Gospel Baptist Church in Valley Brook, in Decatur.
What's the pastor name?
James Morton.
I love Pastor James Morton. Bishop.
Yes, Bishop.
I'm a part of Full Gospel as well, so I'm very familiar. Yeah, we're connected. Okay, well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Okay. I'm so happy you came by and told your story. It's a very, very interesting story. I don't know why I see like plays coming behind it and movies and stuff like that. Don't limit God, Mia. Like, don't limit him. Take your story and soar high as you possibly can go with it, because you got something to tell people. You can really deliver some people from some things. You can be a suicidal advocate because you lived it. You was there. Right. I'm saying your mom, that's the most closest person to you in the whole world. So I am so happy I had a chance to meet you.
Yes, me too.
All right. Well, you take care. Nice meeting you. Where do they go to get the book?
You can go to officialmiawallace.com, and that's where the book is located.
Got it. You can go to my page and just type that in so people know if they want to be in. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.